Hello and welcome back to Pure on the Road. I am Sam Maraschini, once again back here at Cisco Live 2022, and I'm joined by Chris Kennedy. Chris, how are you?
Doing great, Sam, and this has been a fantastic event so far.
It absolutely is. So, Chris, you are with Portworx, powered by Pure Storage, right?
Yes, sir.
At the end of the
Yes,
day. And you just presented in our theater.
Yeah.
And you did quite a bit around Intersight and Portworx and Pure. So what's the value that Portworx brings to Intersight or to FlashStack?
So when you take a look at Intersight and what Cisco's vision is for that,
Okay.
They're looking to simplify the deployment of Kubernetes to make it more accessible to their customers. And so when you have that simplification in Intersight and you layer over a simplified storage layer that can enable stateful workloads, it becomes a great value proposition to be able, from within Intersight, single click, you've got your storage, your servers configured, you've got your cluster configured, and now you've got your storage configured as well.
All of that with the abstraction layer elevated beyond the hypervisor,
Absolutely.
right? Because what we're doing is abstracting storage. What you're doing is abstracting the application layer, the infrastructure layer. So
That's exactly.
How's that play together?
So, well, basically, if you think about Portworx, we are actually installing into the Kubernetes ecosystem and extending it to make it storage aware. And so when you start looking at the big push to hybrid cloud, which Cisco has done, that's their Intersight platform is really to push hybrid cloud.
Absolutely.
We become the perfect partner because we can leverage our ability to make workloads portable. And as you deploy Intersight, and they have a roadmap item of adopting other Kubernetes providers and have a single management plane.
Okay.
Combine that with Portworx, and now you've got a picture where you have a single management plane to manage Kubernetes through Cisco Intersight.
Right.
You can deploy their Intersight, or you can bring in AWS, EKS, whatever the case may be. But your data layer is consistent no matter where you move your applications or you deploy your clusters. And so that's what makes Portworx and Intersight such a great combination.
And that's key, and a lot of what you were talking about. Now, you also mentioned all of the Portworx products. So you talked about Portworx Backup, and what are some of those high level?
Yeah, so obviously we have PX Store, which is our primary software-defined storage solution. And the great thing about it is Pure, when it bought Portworx, it made the commitment to keep that agnostic. So while we do have a better together story, when it's on FlashArray, we can do some really great things. The best part is I don't care what your underlying block storage is.
It's a great conversation to have with those developers and people that are using it, because they typically don't know.
They don't know, they don't care.
They don't care.
Is really the key. And so it allows us, though, to work with Cisco and be able to get into markets and accounts that we might not have been able to do simply as a hardware vendor.
Got it.
Now that we're providing an abstraction layer for Kubernetes, which is the fastest growing ecosystem in the marketplace right now.
It makes complete sense. I love that. Now, what you're also doing is adding on top of that, recently, Portworx Data Services,
Precisely.
and pulling in database applications as well, which makes it even easier.
And that, Sam, has had tremendous interest because Kubernetes is complex.
Sure.
Anywhere you go, it's hard to deal with. Look at the job market. Everybody and their brother is hiring Kubernetes experts.
Sure.
We have a problem finding enough good ones. And so when you figure that out and you start looking at something like PDS and dig under the covers and look, we're basically giving developers a one-click method to deploy t-shirt size database instances, data service instances on any Kubernetes cluster, and all managed and governed by the business. So you can wrap guardrails around it, that you're taking the complexity out of deploying these applications. You're taking the complexity out of day two operations, backup, data recovery, business continuity, all by leveraging that Portworx Enterprise Foundation underneath it. And at the end of the day, making not only the developer's life simpler, but also the platform and the infrastructure team.
I love it, and clearly you could do that with any underlying infrastructure, but we're hoping that it's FlashStack, we're hoping that it's Pure under the covers.
And that comes back to that better together story.
Absolutely, and there are some things happening in that context to make it better,
Yeah.
and I think when you look at Evergreen One, some of the announcements that we've made recently with Flex, all of that ties together to make this better for our customers.
Well, and definitely as we continue down that Evergreen One path as a service,
Yes.
you know, it is a perfect match because Portworx is as a service. It fits right in with that model, and it gives you the ability to go from I'm a VM shop to I'm a Kubernetes shop, all within the Evergreen One family.
I think that's awesome, and I'd even go further, and you could become a database shop. Or maybe it's database service, it's backup service. There's lots of places that we can go with that, which is awesome. And I know also that you're working on some both Cisco validated designs and Pure validated designs, which is designed to help you, our customers, and our partners to get customers there faster.
Yeah. So we recently worked with Cisco. They have released a blog and are about to release a Cisco validated design for Intersight Kubernetes and Portworx Enterprise. And they have one underway for Portworx Data Services. So very soon we'll have prescriptive, here's how you deploy, available for all Cisco customers. And then we're working on it from the Pure side.
I love it. It's absolutely perfect. And I know puresource.com/Portworx is a great place to get more information on everything that we just talked about. And by the way, behind us, I love all this Pure stuff back here.
Oh man, our booth is fantastic.
It's fantastic. There's a skybox up there, uncomplicated data storage forever here. All of these games are brought to you by Portworx and Pure Storage, right?
There you go.
It's absolutely perfect. Hit that subscribe button for more. So much more coming from Cisco Live 2022. Thanks for your time, Chris.
Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it.